So Usher just accepted the Lifetime Achievement Award at the 2024 BET Awards. And when I tell you, this is probably one of the best speeches I've heard in a long time. He talked about how he had resentment toward his father because his father wasn't in his life. He also talked about his unspoken brotherhood of people that held him accountable on his way to where he is now. So we're going to start at 2 minutes and 15 seconds. I felt it was only right after we watch it, then I'm going to give my honest breakdown of the whole entire video.
When I first started, I had a different idea about what I thought life was going to be. I started off as an artist in a group in Chattanooga, Tennessee, and my name was Cha-Cha.
Cha-Cha.
And I really was searching for some identity, and I was doing that specifically because I was trying to make sense of this name that was given to me that was not. I'm going to take my glasses off because I want you to see my eyes, and I want you to understand it's real.
It's about to get real. It's about to get real.
I was trying to make sense of this name that a man gave me that didn't stick around because he didn't love me. Or at least that was my perception of it, because I had to live long enough in order to understand that you have to have a forgiving heart in order to understand the true pitfalls and hardships of a black man in America.
Absolutely.
And my father, he was a product of that. He made a lot of decisions. He made a lot of choices, and the one that probably hurt and helped me at the same time was to stay away. But that's part of the reason why I say this is the year of the father, where all the fathers got to stand up for their sons, their daughters, and be the man that they need to be for them.
So even though my father was in my life, right, I've been around a lot of friends and a lot of acquaintances that didn't have their father in their life. And I can tell how it hurt them or how it was a struggle for them to grow up and, progress through their life. He talks about the year of the father, right? And how important it is for fathers to be in their children's life. And I've said this several times over. We have to be there for these kids, especially these young men. I have 3 boys, and I can see like the time when I leave and go on business trips or I'm away from the house and then I come back, I can see little things that they pick up or little things that they do. And when their dad comes home, they can understand. They're like, uh-oh, here comes dad. He's going to shut that down. It's very important for us to specifically be in our children's life. And we got to be there. We got to give them that tough love, because when they get into this world, it's extremely hard. We have to be there for them to set the right example so they can see an example of somebody that's working hard, that's honest, that puts their head down, that struggles, that fails, and then they still continue to get back up and continue to mark on that road towards success.
They say success has a million fathers. Well, I start with these guys right here, because this is my village. These are the men who motivated me, who speak to me, who have spoken to me, who have been solid no matter how it may have been. I'm sorry, I'm gonna curse and let you know how I really feel, because at one point it got really thick when my
I understand that.
and I get it. I understand. Sometimes you gotta go through some shit to get to some.
Now there he talks about the brotherhood of these men that are in his corner. It is so important to have other men, real men that are in your corner that can hold you accountable for things. They can also give you advice when you don't know specifically what to do. So it's like a specific father figure, because like he said, things are gonna get hard out here. There's going to be times where you're in a dark hole, you're by yourself, there's nobody there to specifically help you. But if you have that brotherhood that's there and that's behind you, right, they can help encourage you and get you to the next level. One of the biggest mistakes that I see a lot of people make, and I've made this too as well, they're like, forget it, man, I don't need anybody. Like, I can do all of this on my own. But that's the big mistake. There's a lot of people that you think did things on their own, but they had somebody in their corner. They had somebody there to help them when they went through those tough and hard times, right? Accountability is real, but when you got somebody behind you that's pushing you and say, nah, bro, don't go that way, go this way, do this, right? I've done this before and messed up doing this. You need to stay away from that. You need to do this. So he talked about that, and that's another great thing that he mentioned too as well. And you don't see a lot of people talk about that, but that was great.
Somebody asked me a question about ego and this idea of having an ego. Could you be so confident that you could come to L.A. Reid's office at 12 or 13 years old and say, you meeting your next superstar, and I'm gonna take that space on the wall right there. You're gonna put my picture up there. No, that wasn't ego speaking. I rebranded that word that day. I expressed goals out loud.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And the reality is, you have to express your goals outwardly, no matter what people may see, no matter what they may feel, no matter how dark it may look, no matter how complicated it may be, because that's the only way that it will ever become a reality. You have to see it first. You have to then move in action and decide that this is what I will do, this is what I'm committed to. And you're going to have a cast of people who are going to be with you, and you're going to have a cast of people who are going to hate you.
When I tell you that was probably one of the realest things that I've heard in a long time, especially from a celebrity. And what he was specifically saying right there is, no matter what you do, somebody's always going to have an opinion on what you're trying to accomplish. You have to know in your heart, and you have to speak those goals out loud to yourself, because at the end of the day, there's only one person that's gonna judge you. He ain't here on this earth.
As long as you stay connected to what you feel, what you love, what you're committed to, something major will happen and God will show up. He always does.
Yes, sir. Boy,
Now,
Usher spitting that right now, boy.
I can proudly say I'm the bastard of Usher, right? But I made something of it. And I did that because my mother, she subbed in two ways. She was a mother and a father at the same time. And this is the power of a black woman in America.
For
you
sure.
know?
For sure. Absolutely.
So, but it is the belief in those who see something in us.
For
a
sure.
woman, a very important
For
woman,
sure.
is at the very foundation of this. A man and a woman by the name of James Lackey and Nancy Lackey. They were at the foundation of who I am as a young, hopeful child who just wanted to do something and wanted to matter. Even though there wasn't a dad to call, even though there was not anybody to pick up and say, hey, you're gonna be all right. This is what you do. This is what's okay, this is what isn't. You're gonna like girls, you're gonna go through it, you gotta figure it out. So I thank y'all for being patient with me. I forgive each and every person who had anything to say negative about me, because it only motivated me to be who I am.
When I tell you him saying he forgive every single person that ever had anything negative to say about him, I'm literally thinking about all the people that I held on grudges to for so long, and how that secretly affected me and me trying to move on with my life. Like, the hardest thing for a man, honestly, is to forgive people, especially when they do you wrong. When you put so much into them and they end up doing you wrong, it's very, very, very hard to forgive them.
It is 100% all about my children and making certain that you understand that your dreams can come true if you truly committed, if you are committed to it, if you're dedicated to something and you find passion and you stay committed to it. This could potentially be you. This could be your moment. Not on this stage, because I'm the only one that's gonna have this one. But you could have a moment like this too.
So I heard a couple people say, like, why did he say you're not gonna have this stage? Because this is my stage. And to me, basically what he's saying is, your dreams can come true if you push hard and you're dedicated towards what you're doing. You don't have to do exactly what I did. You don't have to be the next Usher. You don't have to sing. You can be your own unique person. You can go into whatever field, whatever career, whatever entrepreneurship journey you want to do, but you can still have this type of shine.
You gotta be willing to forgive, y'all. He who knows no sin cast the first stone.
Woo! Bro, I'm telling you.
You gotta be willing to forgive.
Telling you.
You gotta be willing to be open. I'm telling you, you're standing before a man who had to forgive a man who never showed up ever. And look what I made with it.
Yeah.
Look what I was able to usher in.
For sure.
But that's what's real. And that's what makes us human. That's what makes us men and women. I thank y'all, man.
So overall, I think this was one of those speeches that will go down in history as probably one of the best acceptance speeches that people have ever heard. And you can tell he meant every single thing that he was saying. So big up to Usher. I think this was great. The man deserves his flowers. He's been doing it for a long time. He's gave us a lot of classic music. Big ups to you, Usher.